This is Tony Arricchetti, and here's some information about your Capstone project. First, some background about me. I work currently at the National Board of Osteopathic Medical Examiners, and I work with standardized patients who assess interpersonal and communication skills for our national board exam. So I'm the director of doctor-patient communication assessment. And previous to that, I've worked for about 20 years at different medical schools running simulation programs, but my real specialty is in standardized patient education and performance test development. So with this video, I wanted to give you some idea of what to expect when you're working on your Capstone project. First, what is Capstone? It's a required course, and it's an activity but not a didactic course, meaning that you won't be required to pass examinations. It's a program where you're going to be actively involved in building a project that's a synthesis of everything that you've learned, and that learning could come from the courses in the master's program itself or anything that you've learned on the job over your career, as well as your interest. You really have to start in many ways by deciding what are you really interested in simulation, and what is your passion in this field, and combine that into your Capstone project. So again, it's about the learning that you've picked up throughout the coursework and your career, plus your passion in the simulation field. And your Capstone project could include focusing on many different types of simulations, but it has to be simulation based. And so, for example, your project could involve mannequin-based simulations, or part task trainers, or standardized patients, or any combination of the above. So it's really up to you to determine what kind of project that you would like to carry it out. And it could be research based, in which you're perhaps researching whether or not a simulation approach produces better clinicians and so forth, and more about this later. We're looking for you to create original works, work that's really your own, and also meaningful work, work that really contributes to the field of simulations. And as you get into designing your projects, you'll find that perhaps whatever you're proposing hasn't been done before, which is probably a good thing. And it can also be a source of consternation if you don't have any guidance. And so, but we're looking for something that's both original and meaningful. In the Capstone 801 program, you'll really work on the project design. And my experience so far has been that in many ways this is the most difficult part of the process, is actually figuring out what it is you want to do and how you're going to do it, and gathering the appropriate literature. And then in Capstone 802, you'll actually implement the project. Some of the requirements: very important that you develop and then meet your own timelines for completion of various components of your Capstone project. There will be some synchronous meetings. We will meet together periodically. I have found it's very helpful for students to hear each other's projects and learn about their progress. And so we will be setting up some synchronous meetings throughout 801 and 802. Journaling is important, in which you're going to be documenting the process of your thinking and meetings and so forth. And another important thing to consider is IRB approval at your institution as required. You may have to go through an IRB in order to get approval to use human subjects in your research, if that's what you're going to do. And the other important thing, though, when you're finally writing up your project, is to use the templates that we will supply and write in APA format. So even though it has to be original, it really should conform to the standards that Drexel will lay out for you, so that it really takes on the appearance of an academic paper, and it's something that you can then perhaps transformed into a journal article or perhaps even a book chapter, but more about this later. Some of the support that we'll give you include, again, templates for you to complete your work and materials. And also, I'll be working with you as your mentor, in which my role really is to help you to refine your ideas, give you my perspective, for example, on performance testing, and maybe even goad you into completing your work on time. That's always an issue. People have busy lives. Many of you are going to be working full time as well as carrying more than one course. So my job here is to not only mentor you, but guide you and also nudge you to complete your deadlines. And also psychometric support, that if you're going to be collecting data through this program, you'll learn issues of research design as well as how to gather data and crunch it and report it in a meaningful way. So the next video, I'm going to get into more detail of the Capstone objectives. And with that, I look forward to talking with you soon.